If only I can go back to my 20-year-old self and be like, girl, stop it. I just need 60 seconds with you. Let me sit you down real quick so you don't make this mistake again. I remember being in my 20s and feeling so much anxiety and worry and fear. But I didn't realize or accept the fact that this was normal and a part of life. That anxiety is something that we naturally all will feel at some point because life is lifing. We have jobs, we have school, we have bills, we have relationships and things that will naturally bring upon some kind of stress. But this is what I want you to know. Stop self-diagnosing. Stop doing it. Social media started the hashtag mental health awareness and all the things, which is great. However, it's gotten to the point where we're now starting to self-diagnose with things that isn't necessarily true. We believe that we have PTSD. Oh, girl, I have ADHD. And all these things without even seeing a doctor. If you ever heard about projection psychology or self-fulfilling prophecy, that is what occurs when we teach ourselves what to believe over and over and over again. And that is when true manifestation happens. We begin to carry out and act out our own thoughts. What a man thinks, so he is. And when it comes to your thoughts, you have to be very careful with them, especially with other people. People will impose themselves on you in ways that are out of your control if you let them. You have to understand whatever anyone carries within themselves is what they will project and push on to you. If someone carries bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness, if someone carries low self-esteem, there's a big chance that that is what they will impose on to you. You have to be really cautious with the company you keep, with your friends, especially the ones that make you feel really small. Pay attention to how someone makes you feel more than what they do. Sometimes we can be around people who do so much for us. They buy us the gifts. They come to the house. They clean up. They do all the things. They pat you on the back when you do a good job. They hug you when you're sobbing. But it is not necessarily true that they are a good friend for you, because the spirit can never lie. The spirit will tell on you without your permission. Another thing that I really wish I mastered in my 20s was to stop obsessing over opinions and what other people thought about me. I was the master of people pleasing. I wanted everyone around me to like me. I was concerned about every fire that was starting that had to do with some kind of gossip, and I wanted so badly to fix it. I wanted to fix my reputation with everyone, and I ended up losing myself. You don't have to lose yourself trying to put out fires that weren't for you to put out. Because the reality is this: what people think of you is none of your business. The funny thing about gossip is the people who are gossiping about you are also being gossiped about. Someone's talking about them too. We're all being talked about. That's part of life. But it is not your job to obsess over it, or try to work hard to convince other people to see you in a different light, or even try to convince people to see your vision and asking them, what should I do? Oh my goodness, that was my favorite. I was so obsessed with what everybody else thought I should do. I remember my first time walking into LIU. I went to Long Island University. And prior to that, I was so confused. I didn't know what I wanted to go to school for. Should I go to school for psychology? Should I go to school to become a teacher? Should I be a nurse? I was all over the place. And what contributed to that more than anything was my obsession over what other people thought I should do. And that is when I had to dial it back. I had to start seeking God, the author and creator of all things. He's the one who created me. So why am I asking other people? That is like the blind leading the blind and you expecting some kind of direction. We're all just a bunch of Stevie Wonders running around here looking crazy because we're asking the wrong people when we really should be asking God himself. Now, on to something truly important: financial literacy. You need to learn how to manage your pockets more than you learn how to manage your closet. I know it is quite tempting to look good, especially when all your friends are obsessing over the latest brands. Listen, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I'm talking Fashion City. When my friends were rocking Ugg boots, your girl was rocking Fug boots, okay? I did not care. I was more concerned about what the bank account was looking like. So when people were making jokes and saying, oh, the girl's cheap, she broke, and all the things, I was laughing at the bank, okay? I was laughing when I saw that there was a comma in my bank account. I didn't care how broke or poor I looked to anybody. But the funny thing is, the people who will make fun of you or make jokes or comments about how you're dressing, where you're going, and what you're doing, those people can't afford absolutely anything. And they're the main ones asking you for money. How you like that? So learn how to invest. Learn how to save. Learn how to manage your money so God can trust to bless you with more of it. Now, speaking of investment, this is your time to really explore, experiment, and fail forward. I mean, literally. Make the mistakes that will give you the wisdom that you will not receive, even if you went to the top 10 performing university across the globe. When I tell you your failures are your greatest teachers, I mean it. You want to start early because right now in your 20s, you are building what I like to call the foundation of purpose. This is where all of the things that you have laid out is going to present itself to you and expose what your decisions were looking like in your 20s by the time you hit your 30s. And if you need help with that, I've created a life purpose digital workbook. And the link is right in my description. Check it out. It will definitely help you, especially with staying in alignment and setting some really tough goals. Now, this is a big one: choosing relationships. I wish I wasn't such a people pleaser. I would have walked away from so many people such a long time ago. How do I show up in the world when I'm around this person? Or do these people uplift me? Do they carry me when I'm at my lowest? Do they help me to see me for who I truly am? Do they shine a light on me when I'm dimming my own light? Those are the people you want around you. I remember my mom used to say, Kimberly, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it is a duck. You don't need 10,000 signs. You don't have to rely on Google. You know, because there's an inner knowing when it comes to who and who you should not have around you. Honor and love yourself enough to say, I need to make a decision to save my life and to carry through with my purpose. Now, when it comes to ending relationships, friendships, especially those toxic ones that you were concerned about, yeah, you can absolutely do that and forgive them at the same time. I used to believe that I had to keep toxic people around me in order to prove that I fulfilled my duties as a Christian woman and as a woman of God to forgive. And that is not true. I really had to open my eyes to the reality of this. You can forgive and love and close the door and not open it ever again. That is okay. That is called discernment and wisdom. And it's important for you to practice it now so you can exercise that muscle. So by the time you hit your 30s, you will be a bad mama jamma, okay? You will be surrounded with the right people at the right time because you've cleared and set the stage. You've decided this is who I want to attract in my life based on what I want my life to look like. Now, this is something that I really, really regret. I regret telling everyone my business. Everyone does not have to know, and everyone should never know everything happening in your life, especially when you get married and you have children. Those things are personal because it has God's name written all over it. And a lot of times we take pride in being transparent. We look at it as a sign of strength and confidence and all the things. However, It takes a lot of strength and confidence to know who and who you should not share certain things with. Some people will take that gift, that transparency, the gift of you giving yourself, that vulnerability, and they will trample all over it. Do not give that gift to everyone. Operate from a space of wisdom. Seek God and ask Him who and who you should not share everything with. Because some people will use it against you. And some people you can use it to help to edify them. But that is not always the case. I had my reputation truly dismantled because I shared something with the wrong person at the wrong time. And it took a toll on me. Don't make that mistake. And lastly, choose discipline over motivation. Quite often we get so motivated, especially when we hear our favorite motivational speaker, when we go to church, when we're watching YouTube and we're watching Kimberly Inspires, okay? Even after this moment is done, it is so important for you to make sure that discipline remains at the forefront. Discipline is the requirement to carry out the plans and purpose God has over your life when the feeling and the excitement dies down. Life is going to continue. Lifing is not going to stop because you want it to. It's never going to be the perfect time. One day you're going to wake up and you're going to say, I didn't sleep for more than 4 hours. The next day, my friend called me because she needed me. The next day, my car broke down. The next day, oh my gosh, this happened, that happened. It's always going to be something. But discipline is what's going to help sustain you on your journey, to allow you to carry through. When you exercise that skill, let me tell you, it will pay off in your 30s. Do it now. Exercise discipline. Master the art of being able to have some kind of self-control over your feelings. Don't let your feelings control you. You control it. So don't forget, this is not competition. It is not your job to look at what Sarah's doing, Sally's doing, Erica's doing. It is your job to look forward and stay on the right path. Even the ones that don't seem right, let me tell you something. That's your toolkit. Those are the things that's going to help you get to the next level. You don't know what somebody else went through to get to where they are. This is why we're not in competition mode. We're not going to allow comparison to steal our joy and how we show up in the world. Yeah, she has 5 kids and she's married. Yeah, she has her doctorate degree. Yeah, she runs a business. She's on her 2nd house. And that's not your business, nor your concern. Your job is to celebrate everyone where they are. And most importantly, do not forget to celebrate you, because this is your journey, and no one can fulfill this calling over your life better than you. Take care, and God bless.